the guts, has the confidence in sharing those stories. And syempre, when we do tackle LGBT issues, specifically trans womanhood, you may get criticized, but the end goal of this is for us to be educated, for people to be educated on our existence. Papunta naman tayo kay Miss Benz as someone who's featured as well. Syempre, you are a pioneer in trans womanhood. So my question for you is, ready ka na? Chances. Go side. At least I use the term pioneer.
Yes.
You don't want me to use the A word.
In a positive way.
Alright. In your experience, Ms. Bem, saan pa rin tayo pinaka-nahihirapan when it comes to acceptance on the family, workplace, or policy level?
I think in all aspects, I will not mince words. The internal transphobia also of our own community is very high. I reject the term ladyboy and she-male for the record because it says that we're half male, half women. Excuse me. It's either you accept us or not. And policy is number one. 24 years na po ang SOGSC bill. It should be passed. Nahimay-himay na siya. The only human rights bill na nakabinbin sa Kongreso to protect trans women also. The right to study, the right to education, and the right to employment opportunities. Please allow us to live with harmony and respect. And syempre nandiyan yung acceptance from family. It's not easy, especially if you transition, di ba? Kaya, while you see us all here smiling, the three of us and many of our other sisters, beyond these smiles and faces, have gone through the rough edges of life. We're not saying that it's, you should not do it, but of course, paradigm na po siguro ng buhay namin yung difficulty. Yun na talaga. Naka-inscribe na sa aming DNA na yun yung pamumuhay natin. Pero katulad po ng lahat ng paglalakbay, ang mali ay dapat itinutuwid. Hindi ang isang gynecologist na tumingin sa pagitan ng mahita namin ng mga bata kami ang magdidikta na magiging kasarian namin ng panghabang buhay. So please allow us to live the lives that we want. At parati kong sinasabi sa lahat ng forum, at the end of the day, kung magiging issue ito, kapag magsasauli kami ng buhay, let it be an issue between me and my God. Nobody. Salamat.
Asan na parang? But I would like to reiterate the internalized homophobia kasi as someone who's part of the community, it is really existing. Ang nasabi ka na ni Ms. Gigi, yung term na passive and non-passive.
Yeah.
And ang discrimination, hindi lang siya nanggagaling outside ng community namin. Nanggagaling din siya sa loob. It also starts from within, especially meron kami mga trans sisters who are privileged and does not, sabi din ni Ms. Rinos kanina, hindi nagsasolar. Solidarity. Yes. Not really 100% in support of our advocacy, which is saddening, but it is what it is. It is the reality. That's why SLAP is here, going on for more than a decade. That's why, here's my question for STRAP. Perfect at translation. Of course, STRAPs, since 2002, research ako, nakatagalan, has built a strong community over the years. How important is chosen family in surviving everyday challenges? Anyone could answer?
I think it is very important. Wala ka sa very important siya, especially sa amin na trans women, no? Kasi, minsan yung hindi pagtanggap ng family mismo namin is nakaka-apekto na sa amin. So we need to have a chosen family. And STRAP is one of the chosen families na talagang mag-e-embrace sa amin. No? Yung chosen family na to is ito yung tutulong sa amin sa pag-guide sa transition journey namin. At hindi lang yun, pati sa personal na level ng sa personal growth namin, no? Strap will always be there. Sabi ko nga, no, kapag laging may mga bago, Strap is not just a sisterhood, it is also a family. No? And hindi lang Strap, no? Even yung mga small circle of friends, so that can be your chosen family. And it is important. Why? Kasi kung hindi mo man nakukuha yung suporta sa family mo mismo, yung chosen family mismo, yung chosen family mo sana, yung magbibigay ng suporta para maging matibay ka sa pag-transition.
I think ang kahalagahan din ng pagkakaroon ng strap, no? We are a support group, no? Alam naman din namin na ang realidad is hindi ka talaga totally tanggap. No, we are tolerated, of course, diba? Pero, ayun, no, nag-exist din ang strap because we are a support group. So, kapag may isang trans na nakaranas ng discrimination niya or violence, they reach out to us, then eventually they become part of the organization because we are also a membership organization. Ayun, mahalaga siya kasi hindi na lahat ay tanggap talaga. At ang pagkakaroon ng chosen family, it's something that makakatulong sa isang trans person on her journey kasi at the end of the day, minsan, lahat naman tayo, no, trans at hindi trans, no, kailangan din ng guidelines. So, kaya mahalaga. So, yun lang.
Thank you so much, Ms. Gigi and Ms. And if you know someone na struggling or they're just discovering who they are, going to the trans womanhood, you can direct to Strap. Kasi we also accept members who are not yet fully transitioned. We do have members na nag-start pa lang, and we welcome them. Kasi in Strap, we don't only accept members as part of the membership community. We don't only accept, promotion. We don't only accept yung mga, as they say, yung mga masasabi natin passing na yan. We accept everyone since being a woman has different realities, not just. Alright, at this juncture, we are gonna open the floor for questions for our fellow friends. If you have one, you can raise your hand. Okay, let's have
Well, my question could actually be for everyone naman. So, for Strap and individually, could you also give us your own favorite trans movie or Filipino trans movie na pwede rin panoorin to para palawakin yung view about the trans community? But I guess same din sa filmmakers.
I was thinking about this question while you're thinking that. Instead I was reflecting on filmography in terms of trans identities. And I think one thing na nasa favorites ko talaga, regardless of whether it is queer or trans, parang sa favorite films ko ay... Pero kasi, there's a Filipina trans filmmaker based in New York. She is Isabel Sandoval. And, yes, Lingua Franca. So may diverse filmography siya, pero I think Lingua Franca, yung film, which tackles both yung identity niya sa trans woman, but also positioning it in an America kung saan merong struggles with yung pagkapangulo ni Trump noong panahon na yun, at yung mga bit nito na struggles for someone like her. And parang, I think I really enjoyed watching that film kasi parang sobrang litaw sa pelikula, nalubog siya doon sa mga realities na naranasan ng mga trans women, at especially as someone na immigrant yung character in that film. Sobrang nabuo yung empathy ko for her. At parang ganoon din naman yung hinahanap at yung sinusubukan namin gawin ng mga pelikula. Yung mga nagpapalit ako ng boses ng mga marginalized people So, kumbaga, hindi naman siya parang kami yung nagbibigay ng boses na to. Meron na talaga silang boses, pero parang mas ina-amplify lang yun para magkaroon ng platform, para may pakita. Okay.
Also, yung League of Franca, napakaganda ng napakaganda yung critical review na tinatalakay, especially in Franca and the Supreme Court, and the government sa US. Kasi sa policies nila, they are referring na sex ay fixed and hindi siya nababago. But actually, based sa mga narinig natin na as an individual, we are a product of our continuous interaction with our society. So, hindi pwedeng fix lang. And yung mga yung ginagawa ni Trump, it's a political effort to nullify yung trans lives. So, kaya maganda rin na, maganda yung tinatalakay ng League of Franca. But sa media kasi sa films, mahirap din kasi talaga kung makahanap ng mga pelikula na nagtatakot ng trans lives. Kasi nasanay ang media, ang industriya ng pelikula na ang storya lamang na tinatalakay nila ay tungkol sa isang bakla at is tungkol sa isang lesbian. And dahil, isa sa mga rason, I think yung exploitation, yung capitalism, na mas kumikita yung mga studios kapag ganito yung mga storya. And kaya yun yung mga reason kung bakit hindi po masyado nare-representa yung trans lives sa pelikula. And I think aside from League of Franca, maganda rin yung And the Danish Girl. Tungkol siya against sa isang trans woman na unang-unang transition. So, doon I think makikita natin yung kahalagaan na it's a process. Natalakay sa nila kanina na it's a process and hindi lang basta ikaw individual yung magbabago but also yung relationship mo with other people. Kasi yung bida mo doon ay may asawa. So, may asawa mo siyang babae. So, it's a struggle sa kanyang sarili but also struggle din sa kanyang relasyon with the society. So,
Ay, wala kayong favorite.
Ako na lang muna siguro, habang pinapasok ko yung birthday sa Shishino. I know yung title niya, yung Markova, yung Comfort Kid. Doon pa lang, i-connect ko doon sa sinabi niya na yung media natin, at that time, takot pa sila na, alam mo yun, i-touch yung trans stories. Kaya ginamit mo na yung term na comfort kid. And hanggang ngayon naman ginagamit pa rin siya, no? But if you're gonna watch and understand yung stories ng characters doon, we can say na they are trans women, no? And bakit ko siya favorite? First of all, the story natin. Second, ito, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is the first mainstream movie na, kumbaga, naglakas ng loob lahad yung story ng trans community. Hindi lang yung, kasi normally, di ba, up until now, kapag pinapresent yung stories ng transgender women sa media, either sex workers, or kung kunyari sa love stories, yung trans yung nagbabae ng mga babae sa lalaki, di ba, yung gano'n. But this film actually, kumbaga, told us na yung naranasan ng mga comfort women nung time ng Japanese regime, no, naranasan din ng mga trans women. No? And this is important to me. Why? Because this only proves na kung ano nga yung naranasan ng mga women up until now, even before and now, no, naranasan din ng trans women. So, yun, kaya ko siya. Story.
Wala naman ako yung talagang favorite ko, para balikan ko na, I mean, I'm aware of some of the films. We, even sa Strap, we supported some films, including Warna. Pero, ayun, siguro I think the closest, siguro Markova, nasanap ko din Markova. I know League of Franca is also a good film. It was one of the official selection from the BFI, ang League of Franca. Ayun, pero I think siguro medyo tumatak lang din sa akin to. Hindi siya, pelikula, it's a series on Netflix. If you are aware of The Sandman, na series, merong sa season 2, merong eksena kasi doon. May isang trans actress doon, no? Sa series ng The Sandman. Tapos parang, ang kwento is parang she's struggling with her family. Kasi hindi siya tinatanggap ng family niya. Even her name, you know, her identity. Tapos, ang fear niya is kung mamatay siya, no? Parang sino pupunta sa kanyang bibig, no? Tapos, ano bang magiging pangalan niya doon sa punto. So, tapos parang after the scene, no? Nung namatay siya, ayun, ang realidad is, alam mo yun, you know, parang nung namatay siya, ginawa siyang dahil against niya yung family niya. Yung family niya, ginawa ka rin siya. Kahit, even sa pagkamatay niya. Tapos, even yung kanyang name, no, sa puso na, yung kanya pa rin dead name. So, wala talagang pag-honor sa kanyang trans identity. Tapos, si Sandman na, no, siya yung gumawa ng paraan para dahil parang naging close na rin siya dito sa trans person na to, siya yung gumawa ng paraan na palitan yung dead name niya dun sa punto through her live name. So tumatak lang sa akin.
Ay,
wala ka.
hindi. Okay naman na happy life nila. Pero personally, when I was with doing the lead, yung pagdadala kay Maximo Oliveros, a good awakening at that time of coming out of a young gay boy in the slums. So, sana rin siya. Nung mas marami harap ng ladlad during that time. So, matunay na kwento ng pagka-come out, yung awakening mo from pagiging LGBT.
If I would answer this question, sabi ko lang sa sarili. As part of the Gen Z, favorite trans film ko is, of course, Diving, featured by Paolo. Kasi, hindi lang niya feature yung common stories ng mga trans, like in pageantry, loving someone na may asawa, or yung mga nagpapag-moves na nag-undergo ng augmentation surgeries. It also tackled about trans women being mothers. And that's one of the realities of trans women. And we're not just daughters, we're not just sisters, but we can also be mothers as well. And if hindi pa kinakanood ng mga movies and everything, I would highly recommend them. Alright, another question from our audience. Sir Rex. Go Sir Rex. Ako lang ang question, transphobic ka, sir. Just kidding.
Kahit ano maganda yung kwento ni Beth, kahit alam ko na yun, simula pa nung maliit pa siya hanggang sa ngayon.
Sino yung account na
Parang pinapalabas mo mas matanda ako sa iyo.
Kaya natutuwa ako sa Cecily. Now, what messages would you like to share with people who don't understand transgender?
Wala pong
Ayun. So, ano bang message mo sa mga tao? Hindi nakakaintindi ng trans o pagiging trans. Siguro, ang message ko na lang is siguro parang compassion or empathy, no? Hindi nyo naman kailangan mamuhay katulad namin, no? Ang kailangan maging parte ng community para maintindihan ko mo. I think yung pagiging bukas ng isip at puso lang naman ay importante para magkaintindihan tayo sa pinaglalaban din ng mga transgender women. At siguro ang message ko lang din, no, na parang dahil Women's Month, no, tapos may conversation na parang bakit kasama ang mga trans women, no? So dapat hindi po natin ini-exclude ang trans women kasi walang feminism kung ini-exclude mo ang transgender women kasi they are women. At ang trans women naman hindi siya usapin ng katawan ng kababaihan. No? Usapin siya ng pagkakaroon ng safe space, karapatan, at dignidad para sa lahat ng kababaihan na hindi nalilimitahan ng dahil lang sa kanyang katawan. No, this is a celebration to all women of intersectionalities. Mahalaga na ang Women's Month ay hindi nagiging space para alam mo yun, yung parang ilimita or parang i-dissect ang kababaihan na parang nanganganak ka ba, gano'n. So, hindi po siya gano'n, no. Ang Women's Month po, no, ay a celebration of womanhood, of different intersectionalities, and giving space to all women with their dignity and good representation as well.
Ako ang message ko, ang message ko, actually, Sai and I discussed this now. Right now, napaka-laking issue ng trans women or women, di ba? That's why, sabi ko nga kay Sai, and part din to ng questions namin sa membership. Yes, as membership committee. Part ng namin, kung pamipiliin ka, saan ka mas nag-lean towards, no? Trans women or women or trans rights or human rights. Sabi ko kay Sai, napaka-laking issue ngayon ng trans women or women code, di ba? So bumalik tayo dun sa pinaka-basic, trans rights or human rights. So, dun papasok yung gusto kong sabihin sa mga hindi naniniwala or hindi makaintindi sa konsepto ng trans womanhood, no? And even sa mga SOGSE training sessions ko, sa mga companies na nag-invite sa akin, gustong-gusto ko itong binabanggit sa mga cisgender audience, especially yung mga guards, yung mga, yung mga kuya ate na naglilinis, no? Sabi ko sa kanila, it's a matter of giving respect talaga, no? You don't have to accept our trans womanism or trans womanhood, but respect us as a human being, diba? Hindi naman mahirap yun. Kasi, yung respect, hindi nga siya in-earn, pero alam mo, naka-embed na yan sa atin dapat eh. No? If gusto natin i-respeto tayo ng ibang tao, i-respeto rin natin sila. Kahit hindi sila respect. But yun, respect talaga. Yun lang yun. And then, after that, let's have conversations about transgender ideas.
Thank you so much, my fellow sisters. I believe you have another question.
Okay, si Patrick, that. So, I'm going to film documentary, biographic or autobiographic. So, for the filmmakers, and I'm not sure if you have read your recent discussion, Rodina's statements regarding capitalism, Martin Capital, about 2026 na, hindi na pwede pagkakala. So, let's put it in the context of transgender things. So, first question is, how do you feel about queer characters should be portrayed by queer people exclusively, or because some people claim that queer characters should be portrayed by queer people. So, and second is, how about yung mga films na should be telling about queer stories? Does it have restrictions? Because apparently autobiographical tells a lot of different stories. So, it does not limit the different stories. So, very limited stories.
Hi. So, I think we discussed this naman with Ms. Abby, na hindi naman dapat nililito yung queer characters with queer actors. But of course, it's still better to give queer actors a chance kasi hindi naman sila masyado nagbibigyan ng chance in the film industry. But I think the thing that's more important is to consult with queer communities before creating the scripts, before creating the story. I think it really depends on the directors, the screenwriters, on representing queer stories properly, with care, and it's okay to have allies to represent queer characters. It's really just the amount of research you have to put. Kasi nakadepende naman yung representation dun sa scripts o sa text na i-represent ng actors. But also there should be research na din on those actors if they're like respectful din of that community. Kasi alam mo naman, ang mag-represent ng queer actor is a homophobic person. Parang, ano naman, kinukuha naman niya yung chance sa other queer people tapos ibagawa pa niya. So,
Ako I agree rin with Natasha, as well as yung point ni Direk Rovina in her post. And kasi parang as creatives, although meron kaming creative decisions na ginagawa, I think mas mahalaga yung karapatang responsibilidad na nakakasama nun. So, habang maaari kami humanto sa decisions to cast straight actors for queer roles, I think ang mahalaga lang ay yung mga factors na kinonsider namin. So, for instance, we may include in casting calls na preferred yung queer actors for these roles. At in the occasion na hindi yun possible, as ang mahalaga ay hindi homophobic yung mga actors na ikakast natin. At kasama pa nun, hindi rin natatapos sa pag-cast ng actors, pero mahalaga rin, lalo kung hindi sila aware sa mga danas ng people in the community, na mag-conduct ng workshops for them para maging immerse sila sa layers ng characters na ipoportray nila. I think yun yung pinaka-importante. At saka parang mahaba na rin kasi yung panahon na merong mga these kinds of actors who portray queer characters. And para hindi rin siya sobrang daling question of asking them for their identity or kung how they identify. So para ang pinakamahalaga lang is that we're responsible and accountable sa mga decisions na ginagawa natin.
I do add pala. We have to acknowledge that not all queer actors are out. So I think it's harmful then to require queer actors to be the only ones representing queer characters. Kasi whether we like it or not, it's harmful to be queer and out as a very public person. So I think we just respect their privacy and allow them to be still having that thing. Kasi it's kanila naman nila, it's gonna be out. Kasi it's very simple.
So ako kasi, for me kasi yung media, napaka-importante siyang tool, no, in enforcing an ideology. And itong ideology na to ay malaki yung epekto niya sa mga manonood. At I think kasi yung problem is kung paano na-exploit yung mga karakter na ito na pinaportray as queer people. Na-exploit sila in a way na kumikita yung mga students or influencers, no, by pretending na they are gay, no? And yung mga stereotypes, kasi nababawasan yung agency and yung character ng queer people, no? And shocking.
Sinagdan ako.
But, ayun, and also yung queerbaiting, kasi, yun nga eh, gusto kasi mga students na kumikita sila, no? And, for me, yung problema rin kasi doon is yung kawalan mo representation, yung may kita mo sa TV, yung mga body, yung mga mask to mask, no? For example, yung queer dating show sa Sparks Camp, diba?
Yes.
May kita mo doon yung mga masculine, very masculine, mga diba? Yung mga social yung mga itsura, yung mga gwapo, yung mga so kumbaga, for me, kung ako manonood at hindi ako part ng queer community, I think mahalaga na makakita ko ng mga tao na may intindihan ko yung spectrum ng community natin. Dahil hindi basta-basta na lang lang, no? Yung spectrum na ito into one or two person people. So, ayun. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your How about from sisters?
Siguro as an organization din na involved sa pag-support sa mga films, no? Especially trans films, no? Kami naman hindi naman kami very strict, no? Na parang pag trans role lang, trans lang dapat gumanap, no? Hindi naman kami magpupulis ng gano'n, no? Siguro, I think okay, tama na, no? Yung mga future film practitioners natin, no? Na ibigay, kung kaya, no, ibigay natin role sa mga queer people, sa mga trans people. And at the same time, siguro kakibat na, no, let's also give opportunities for LGBTQIA+, no, na parang tulungan din sila when it comes to their acting skills. You know, kasi yung ganong klaseng opportunity, hindi naman kadalasan nakakarating sa mga trans community or sa queer community. Tapos, kami yung i-involve din, no, either the CSO or anyone that's from the community, involve natin sila sa process. And be part of, of that process to be like owner of that film as well. Kasi itong kwento na to ay kwento din kadalasan ng mga queer people. So, ayun, like sa yung War Love, parang the director is a cis guy. So parang they are focusing on a trans film. Pero they reach out to Strap, no, para tulungan sila, no, since the inception of the film. So tulungan sila, and then we were part of the focus group discussion when we did the screening. So ayun, so mahalaga yun, no, na may participation from the community.
Just to add, as someone who's part of the audience, it's really nice to see films that stars queer people, especially trans. Kasi diba usually LGBT people, palaging sila yung sidekick, best friend, hindi sila yung main character. So I think, and I hope that moving forward, we see and watch more movies and films and media or series in streaming platforms that would feature and highlight stories ng mga kapatid natin in the community, specifically our trans sisters. Alright, moving forward, we have a question from our Ateneo students. And then after, I'll go back again to the blogger press if you have any questions. Go ahead.